Hi, this is Regina Y Favors, and I have a new series, Overcoming Counterfeit Setback. And the title of this lesson is When You Sell Out for Potential. And I place potential in quotation marks because a lot of times, all of us in general tend to focus on the potential of a person. Women have this bad sometimes. We look at the person, uh, we look at the man, and we look at the potential. We see the vision of the man, of what he could become, and we look at our talents and our gifts and our resources, and we begin investing and thinking that if we do this or if we do that, the person is going to become the thing that we envision. And sometimes that has a lot of pride in it, some arrogance in it. But it does come from this ideal of perceiving the potential of a man does come from a good place in the heart. It's not like the person is trying to set the man up to fail. The woman is not trying to set the man up to fail. What she sees is she sees what she is doing, what she has accomplished, and what she wants to do going forward. And sometimes it has a lot to do with entrepreneurial aspirations. And she sees what she's doing, and she immediately thinks that what she's doing is something that he could do too. If maybe he took a class, maybe he sat down and wrote a business plan, maybe he got into a provider type of thinking. But if it's not in him to become that or to be that, he's not going to become that. Meaning that if he's not already pursuing that understanding now, he's not going to become that. A person who is a grown adult who is still living with someone else, whether it's a woman, a family member, and hasn't moved the needle in their life beyond um, high school, is not the type of person who is actually going to have an entrepreneurial spirit. That person is not going to be, that person may play the lottery and win. That person may do some illegal activity and get a lot of money. That person may even come into something, even an inheritance, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the person put work ethic behind it. The person did not put blood, sweat, and tears behind something. He just kind of come up on something. And women will look at uh, who he is and who he is not and begin to substitute what he could become. Meaning that they are not looking at the situation for what it actually is. He is not a person who keeps a job. He is not a person who has ever had his own place, and he's sitting up here 40 some years old and he's never ever had his own apartment. He's never taken responsibility for his own place, right? He doesn't even carry himself as an adult. And he looks like the real thing because in a woman's eyes, we have made him the right thing and we call it potential. So this presentation, when you think about it from how women view men and potential, and then how men view women and potential, is a little different. And I'm not a man, and I don't profess to know everything about men, but I do think sometimes that men look at the women that they desire, that they want to be with, from the perspective of vanity. The person looks good, she sounds like she has some sense, right? She's beautiful. She got body. She makes love to me, and they look at that as so much of a person having the potential of becoming what it is that the man is envisioning. The man is envisioning himself being an entrepreneur, running things, a king, and so he automatically thinks that the woman who looks like what he is trying to achieve in terms of the image, looks like the person who can fulfill that role of queen, or fulfill that role of support partner, fulfill that role of lifetime partner. But the person is just a counterfeit. The person is just a counterfeit. The person will act out what the man believes the person is to be, but once they get married, it's a completely different point of view. The thing about men and how they tend to choose someone temporarily, but make that person lifetime. You've heard this say people say that don't choose someone who is a short-term person, temporary, as if they're lifetime. Um, Meaning that some people come into your life in different seasons, some for short time, from some for a longer time, and then some for a lifetime. And I think it's a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And what men often do when it's a pretty woman or a woman that they think will fulfill his image requirements, they tend to make the woman who is really seasonal lifetime. And the reason behind it is because they want to carry out this image. But it's not a real image, it's a fantasy. And you have to live in reality. And I heard a YouTube video, I heard a guy in a YouTube video who's like a former pimp or something. He said, love the woman who loves you, not the woman who doesn't love you, or something to that effect. That the woman who loves you is the woman who's actually going to be there with you when you get old, when you get tired. That's the woman who's going to cook and clean and help you and love you. Don't love the woman who likes you, who who is only with you for a short term, and you're trying to make that person a lifetime partner, and that person doesn't even have the mindset of a lifetime partner. So I'm going to go through this presentation. I'm just kind of I'm not quite sure that it's going to be completely what I want. I have written a blog article on this, but for another purpose. That was in 2022. And so I want to kind of go through this, explore the topic. So when you sell out for potential, overcoming counterfeit setback, and this is largely for men. All right, so there are some resources that you can access via my website, reginawhitefavors.com. And then there's a blog article that I wrote back in 2022. It's interesting that I'm talking about this topic because uh, it's not based on the blog article. I had to actually remember it. It's based upon something that I've been kind of noticing with men. I listen to a lot of videos about how men are struggling to go back. I mean, struggling with an ex, right? Because they still um, don't want to give up the ex. And then a lot of men who won't marry the real person, but will put up and tolerate the the counterfeit. And so and then I've been watching a lot of videos about divine separation and kingdom spouse, all those types of things. And so I just decided to do this presentation. Then there's a book title that's available on Amazon as well, and Life Recovery After Romantic Hastening, Online Topics and Planning Workbook. And so you can find that on my Amazon author page. And then Regina White Favors is Regina White, www.reginawhitefavors.com. Right, so visit, subscribe, and follow. So do visit the website for more tips, strategies. There are also um, videos and downloadable documents. It's still a work in progress, but I think it'll help you to overcome life setback and pursue life recovery, which has its own process. Okay, so I thank you very much for listening. Please visit the website, visit my YouTube channel, Regina White Favors, also for a list of videos. Thank you very much for listening.